Hey there, from Bugeyeguy. This is a Bugeye called Thor, and this is an online purchase from a fellow called Rick out in Minnesota, and he purchased this car off the wilds of the internet and sent it to us before it heads to Minnesota, which is great. We love that because we can whip this thing into shape. And of course, it has a bunch of issues like they all do. Remember, 60-year-old car, and it comes with the territory. But our job is to make this car wonderful again, make it as wonderful as it can be. He's got a great starting point. A bunch of issues come to light when the cars come here. I'm sorry, that's what we do, is we fix these things. But again, I can't overemphasize, all of these cars are imperfect, whether you get them from us, whether you find them online. Some are more imperfect than others. They all have issues, and what we're trying to do is just to make the most drivable and reliable product. And I'll show you some of the ways we're gonna do that in this video. This car was hit in the back. It's immediately apparent to me. It may not be apparent to everyone out there, but you can see it's actually a little bit more flat on the back than what you normally see. There's a little bit more of a fair curve on Bugsby over here. But again, not a huge deal. A lot of them have been hit in the back. But some of the things that we'll fix, we can't fix that. Obviously, it would be very expensive. There's a little bit of play in the steering wheel here. Now, we've had issues with the interface of the spline and the steering wheel, or the nut. Somebody didn't have the right size socket. I mean, we've seen all kinds of things. Occasionally, the pinch bolt on the steering box is loose, and there's that bolt right there, right above my finger. And so we'll want to investigate what's going on there. That's not the original nut and bolt, so somebody's been in there, and we will investigate further. Not a big deal, but an important thing. These are really lousy air filters. There's just a foam material in here. They age, dry out, and get ingested, and then you just have a screen, which I guess is better than nothing if a stone goes flying towards your carbs. But nonetheless, these are terrible. They don't allow a lot of air in, and we will throw these away. Here's the master cylinder. Now, this is a recent master. You can tell because the push rods are pretty clean. It's probably not leaking right now. But whenever we see one that looks like this, it's kind of like, oh, we don't want to waste money and throw away stuff unnecessarily. But that master cylinder, you know, it might last 2 weeks, it might last 4 years, but if it lasts 2 weeks, I'm screwed. So I've got to keep representing these things to the clients because I want it to work. I don't want it. I've got all the stains on my left shoe from these things leaking right down the pedals. It has new lines, which is nice, but anyway, that's something else we'll look at. The heater valves, if you're unfamiliar with these cars, this is how you turn the heat on. I had a client recently asked me, how do I turn it off? He was in Florida, but this is how you turn it off. It's a water spigot. It opens a little flow of water through the heat exchanger and back into the engine. Well, it circulates through here. So these have to work, and they leak, they get stuck, and that's a pretty common thing. Another thing I really wanted to show you in this video is this right here is the takeoff for the oil pressure gauge. And a lot of old cars have a mechanical gauge. That's not too novel. But in this case, it's been changed to a plastic line. It's a, I don't know if you can see that. It's like a hard, it's almost brittle right now. It's not supple anymore. I'm not sure how long that's been in there. I did have one of these crack. It was actually on my own personal car. So like I said, this happens to all of these cars, including my own. It goes through the firewall. I don't have enough light, but I think there it is. You can see the little spots of oil, which is forcing the pressure up to the gauge. And there's a pass through in the firewall there. And as it goes down the road wiggling and sort of chafes itself to death, that's where the leak usually starts, at the firewall. And when it fills up your passenger's shoes, nobody's ever very happy. So we will put a metal line in there and fix that. Other things that came to light just in a quick inspection, this is a pretty common problem, is that the rack boots will tear, or, yeah, these were clamped properly. They just failed on this joint. As the rubber ages, it'll crack in these crevices, and so we'll change those to protect the rack. This is, we've been talking a lot about crash damage. just so that everyone knows we don't discriminate. They're all crashed. You can see what happened here. This frame horn got whacked, or the front nose got whacked and the horn got straightened. It's a little bit off center and bent down slightly, but also abraded on the edge. And the reason why that matters actually is that we needed to get these pins to properly mate here, and so that we could then engage the bonnet lock. Remember, on these, to close the bonnet, you need that pin to function. This needs to be turned 90 degrees. That's easy. But it's all about trying to get this to lock. This car had two rubber, like a Jeep rubber stretchy hold down, which we didn't care for. So we changed all that. And so that's a quick tour. One more thing actually that I thought was pretty novel. This is a chronic challenge on these noses. This piece that supports the hinge mount is vulnerable to delamination, if you will. And this guy got a new gas welder for Christmas or something, and he needed a little bit more practice. Not the best welds, but he made it stronger. And in that sense, that's fine. And the nice thing is, of course, it was painted over it. You know, you wouldn't see that from up top, which is great. But that's how this particular person repaired that. And sometimes that's what you get. So there you have it. I will show you one more thing real quick, and you can see pictures of this on our site. One thing that we did is we got this beautiful Stay Fast canvas for the top and tonneau. So we have a blue metallic with a bit of an iridescence with this navy blue Stay Fast. And so, you know, again, none of these cars are perfect, but we're adding these highlights and accentuating their greatness whatever way we can. You know, like this is also a loop carpet. We use a cut pile. This is a bunch of loops. It's not quite as durable. And it tends to look a little dingy. So all of these aesthetic upgrades can take a car like this that's certainly not perfect, but it's a beautiful, stunning car, and it can make it into something really, really spectacular. And that's what we will do so that Rick has a summer of fun and a summer of love in his Bugeye Thor. Thanks for watching from Bugeyeguy.